Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Legacy of the Rimlen, post Horsey Reveal Edition. I mentioned before the session that Show&Tell can name Horsey whatever she wants. He has an official name, but she can name it whatever he wants. She called him Horsey last session, so that's what I call him, I guess. But yeah, last time stuff happened. But before we get into that, first things first, I guess, Ashen, could you please introduce yourself and your character for the audience?
Yeah, I'm Ash, and I'm playing as Illona. Sneaky lady, can't sorta turn into a cat at will, and likes to sleep.
As cats do, I guess.
Mm.
And also, first of all, thank you, Ashen, for introducing yourself. Second of all, Ashen was kind enough to draw this image that you all see on screen, a rendition of everyone's favorite, liberated slave now empowered by Enyalios Cornell. Did you post it in Discord for Show&Tell and Deli?
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's loading.
Damn.
It looks so good.
Hmm?
I love it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Thank you.
Ashen did a great job, and I am very, very thankful for your work. And maybe you'll see some other token drawn by Ashen soon. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And also another token drawn by Show&Tell, but probably not so soon because those people are far away. We'll see. But yeah, thank you very, very much, Ashen. And yeah, next, I would kindly ask Show&Tell to introduce herself and her character. Could you please go ahead?
Yes, hi, I'm Show&Tell, and I'll be playing as Anghel, who's right now really, getting into his role as Prince Charming.
Yeah, it's the most bizarre superhero of all, riding in on a Pegasus armed with a ladle.
Oh, I actually drew
You did?
him, but just a sketch.
Okay.
You'll see that Thursday.
Okay. I don't think even if you had it ready, I don't think I can show it to the viewers at the moment. But
Oh yeah, it's fine.
if you ever have it ready and want to show it, do let me know, please.
Okay.
That's Show&Tell and Anghel. Thank you very much. And then we would have, of course, Deli. Could you please go ahead and introduce yourself and your character?
Absolutely. Hello everyone. I'm Dely, and as usual, I'm playing as Muninn. They are a traveling scholar from Brightland, and currently, I think sleeping from last episode, but mulling over knowledge that they gained last episode too, if you know what I mean.
Understandable. And thank you very, very much, Deli. So, last time, as you guys decided to finally meet up with Ophelia many hours late, and having now been kind of forced by necessity to stay the night, you found her pacing very, very impatiently and much more agitated than usual, though you weren't particularly able to discern what may be wrong. Either way, she was dismissive with you, but in the end, you guys decided, okay, we'll wait until tomorrow morning before continuing to go and continuing on the hunt for the orb. While this was happening, your good old friend Rebob, as he has warned you previously, said that he basically wanted to report everything that happened to Lady Ophelia. And this is when Illona did a 500 IQ play, or whatever the meme is, and briefly turned into a cat, scared the loving crap out of Rebob, and Rebob basically spent the night curled up in the fetal position, crying and praying. Because, yeah, phobias. But, yeah, you have successfully prevented Rebob from telling the story for the evening, at least. Then after that, Ophelia, not Deli, Muninn basically told a lie that, oh, we're in danger, or whatever they said, that basically caused Ophelia to run to her carriage, and that basically meant, okay, if you're gonna talk with Ophelia, you're gonna talk more in the morning when you're gonna leave anyway. And so you guys decided to camp in the woods close by to like the village and the ruined monastery, not too far away. Muninn took first watch and began reading the book that they had stolen from the monastery, the one that Anghel repeatedly insisted that they ought to finish tonight. Emphasis on tonight. Well, today rather, but it's tonight at this point, you know what I mean. Some juicy bits of info Muninn uncovered. First thing that the way they have been sort of like bargaining with the gods in terms of offering sacrifices has been pretty wrong. As in the gods withhold information and basically had you pay extra. Now, to like properly like explain the implications of what happened, of what like this mistake means, I'm gonna quote, if you guys don't mind, a passage from the book I wrote that's not been published yet for the viewers. I'm sorry about that. I'll get to it, I promise. But basically, it's from the point of view of an ancient Rimlen person, and keep in mind that what they're describing is like what happens if you like only accidentally like forget some pieces of meat, not if you actually sacrifice a whole animal. So the proper way to perform sacrifice is to only offer the bones or other inedible detritus to the god. Offering any meat, or even worse, the whole intact creature, creates an imbalance. You permanently remove something from the world and give it to the divine, allowing them greater access and influence into the lay universe. Some lazy priests and worshippers did not properly clean the bones before their supplication. Over time, the ground around their temples or homes wilted and died, as the very life of the world was taken away. Sometimes strange mythical creatures appeared in place. Over time, as humans continued to err in their worship, these monstrosities became so plentiful that entire woodlands, mountains, valleys, and marshes became known as these creatures' homes. So, yeah, that's more of like a proper explanation of why, like, whenever you guys found evidence of like magic being performed, the land was dead around it, if that makes sense. Other than that, Muninn, in their continued research of the book, found out a bunch of other stuff that like we didn't necessarily go into detail, but will come up when it will come up. But what sprung to mind was certain details about an ancient oracle, which was basically this ancient woman who willingly gave herself in service to Cassius in exchange for knowledge and more kind of metaphorical, kind of literal power. But wound up being basically just a slave of Cassius, a mouthpiece. Show&Tell and Dely, so not Muninn and Anghel, but Show&Tell and Dely speculated, oh, is this Anyaverus? But probably not. Anyaverus seems more closer to an actual mythical creature rather than an oracle. But who knows? Either way, Muninn then saw hints of a big fire to the north, then decided, it's too far away, I'm going to sleep. Then it was Anghel's turn to pick up the watch. He saw the big fire and said, well, I gotta rescue whatever it is. So Anghel rode forth on his sturdy little horse and saw that a village to the north by the name of Nogi was being burnt down and wrecked by another ogre. So Anghel charged forth astride Horsey, who revealed himself to be, in modern terms, I guess, a Pegasus, although that's not the super correct terminology. In this place, for simplicity's sake, let's just call him a Pegasus. And because the horse judged Anghel worthy enough, and it was an emergency, the two of them charged forth and utterly trounced the ogre and even the waters aiding him on behalf of Eurymedon, much to Eurymedon's annoyance. Anghel's turns for the ogre was, you're gonna help rebuild the village, and then you're gonna sod off. I guess she didn't use that term, but yeah. Yeah, that's more or less where we left off as Anghel and Horsey return back to the campsite. Oh, they left always first in charge, just in case Illona and Muninn are not gonna get murdered in the night. Don't worry. But yeah, as I think we ought to perhaps rejoin Anghel as he returns to the campsite, just because I think unless Illona and Muninn want to wake up, he'd be the only one awake at this point. As I go and turn on the background music. Is that all right with everyone?
I think so.
Yeah.
So, Show&Tell, as Anghel returns to the campsite, the horse would descend a bit of a distance away so as to not be directly spotted, and once he lands, he would change back into his more unsightly form, let's say, and he would say, "Please remember what I asked. Do not tell anyone of this."
Anghel nods, I guess. Does he how are we holding this conversation? Is Anghel on his back?
It can be if you want. I mean, you have ridden the horse when he was like smaller, so it's plausible.
So Anghel pats him, I guess. I feel like he might feel a little strange, knowing now that the horse is like this very cool horse.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like to treat him like,
The horse will continue, though I feel the purity of your heart and I do believe you are worthy. I think I have, in a moment of crisis, revealed myself a little prematurely.
Ooh,
Oh.
That is interesting.
Fret not, if emergency strikes, I will be here to fly if need be, but I would rather avoid it until the time is right.
Okay. Angel's cool with that.
Because above board, part of the reason I'm saying that is because, to like sort of review how the sausage is made, I'm not super prepared for like if Anghel decides, okay, I'm just gonna ride ahead of everyone to St. Paris or to my sister.
Oh damn. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
now that you mention it.
Yeah. I'm not super prepared for that, to be perfectly honest. But there's an additional in-lore reason as to why the horse may decided it's too early for me to review myself. If you want, you can give me a clever to determine what that may be.
Okay, let's try. I'm not holding much hope.
Okay.
Oh my god, how did that happen?
Hey.
I mean, you're in full Prince Charming mood, you remember the story, and you don't even remember, you like instinctively feel it almost. Yeah, you need to collect all the companions first.
Okay. Cool.
But as the horse has assured you, and you sense that the horse is not gonna lie, in emergencies, or if there's like a desperate need, or if you really, really ask it, you do have his promise that, okay, I can turn back into the Pegasus form again, for lack of a better term.
Okay, cool. Nice to know that.
And above board, the Pegasus form did come in handy last session, not just in the fight itself, but because you flew in, you did not have to cross the river. And you know what happens if you cross rivers.
Yeah, very handy, for sure.
Either way, the horse will say, also, please feed me some more charcoal.
Charcoal? Okay, sure.
Because of your earlier...
More?
Because of your earlier role, I'll tell you, even though even I don't 100% understand it, the sickly horse, to get better, needs to be fed charcoal.
You mean every horse, or are you just talking about this particular horse?
This particular one. Don't try this at home, kids.
Yes. What do you mean you don't really understand it? Okay, interesting.
As in that's
It's like just
as in
mythical,
that's part of the IRL story of Prince Charming. Well, this
okay.
particular variation.
But it doesn't have like an explanation. Okay.
Yeah, because it's just a folktale. Folktales don't have
Mhm.
like detailed.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Just
Sure.
feed him charcoal, as this epic
Alright, yeah,
music
good to know.
runs down.
Cool. Okay.
So, as you ride back into camp, I guess I've mentioned this before that I would like to show everyone bits of my favorite plot device, aka all of you have certain dreams that will be plot relevant. So with that in mind, my question is, does anyone wake up at the moment? Because if yes, we might have to reschedule some of the dreams.
No, as in Muninn wouldn't. Ashen is AFK at the moment.
Oh, she is?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so you return to the camp. Anghel, you see everyone is asleep in spite of the like strong earthquake. Like you see some activity in the village. Maybe like a couple of houses have fallen down because of the sudden strong earthquakes. But the camp, other than always thirsty, is sleeping like several babies, several murderous babies.
What a nice image. Okay.
Always thirsty, I think, would approach you and he'd like ask, whispering to like not wake everyone up, "You're back. Are you well?"
Anghel, I'm gonna say flexes. But
It is
yeah.
in character for Prince Charming to be prideful, so you can do that.
Not out of pride, just to show out, yes, I'm well, you know. It is good. But
I knew you could do it. What did you face?
I wonder if there's a reason to keep it from him. He says, like, you know, an ogre, like, in sign language.
By yourself? Well, with the horse?
Oh, it's supposed to be a
oh.
secret from him, too? Clear on that.
No comment. After he asked that, he will say, "Oh, what am I saying? Why am I even surprised? That's yeah, of course. Well, good job. He like pats you on the shoulder. Well, oh, I apologize, my prince."
Anghel pats him back on the shoulder. And even
Smiles.
smiles a little.
Smiles warmly back.
Welcome back, Ashen, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Ashen, too. So, how do you spend the rest of your watch, Anghel?
I think he's probably like kind of energized. So he probably just kind of walks around. He tells Always Thirsty he can go back to sleep if he wants.
Okay. Yeah, he
And,
drops down and you immediately hear him snoring.
Okay. And Anghel just, you know, keeps watch, walks around a little.
I mentioned this last time and it still applies that you guys will not be like attacked overnight or anything like that. The only thing that may seem slightly out of place is again the like people of the village like meandering about, maybe because of the earthquakes. Maybe like several houses were ruined, but there probably weren't any like significant casualties. More so general confusion.
Oh, do we have fire going?
Yeah, well you did at least. I mean, you kind of had to because Muninn read the book and they can't read in pitch darkness. Yeah.
So if there's like charcoal from that,
Yeah.
then Anghel, you know, take some to feed to the horse.
The horse would accept it gratefully, and give you sort of a wink of acknowledgement.
It's so weird. Okay.
It farts as well, I don't know, to be more in character with its sickly self.
Yeah, it's so weird to just like put the two of them together. Yeah.
Yeah. And as you do that, I mentioned this while Ashen was AFK, so I guess I'll repeat it, that I pre-planned dreams for each and every one of you. And
Ooh.
I guess since Ashen will have the next watch, I think it only makes sense that we visit her dream first. You guys agree?
All right.
Let's do it.
Okay. So, I guess, well, I wait 10 seconds for the song to finish because I don't want to interrupt it.
Epic 10 seconds. Ooh.
Okay, it did. Ashen, Illona rather, you, unlike, I guess, Anghel and Muninn, haven't received as many visions and dreams that they have, so perhaps this is a bit more unusual for you. Well, you have, but not as many as the two of them have. But you will hear the familiar... Well, actually, I imagine you would open your eyes and see nothing. As in pitch blackness, pitch darkness. And you would hear a familiar voice of a certain chaotic deity that say, "Sleep well, child."
Hi. Yes, thank you.
Don't think I've forgotten about the favor you owe me.
No, I haven't. Have you decided yet?
Oh, I've decided ever since I asked. Don't you worry.
All right. You want to share or?
No,
Okay.
Oh,
you're
shit.
not worthy.
Oh, too bad.
I'll hold you to it whether you are worthy of it or not. Believe that. But first I thought I might show you something interesting.
Okay, got another animal. Give me a pet cow that can talk.
Not quite, not quite. As
Oh, disappointing.
you all will see a sort of a vision that's
Ooh.
a part of in a landscape that a previous vision of Anghels has taken place. You remember Ashen when you played the old monk lady. Anghel,
Yeah.
Anghel played not Anghel. Show&Tell played Angel's sister, and Dely played the one soldier that got shanked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you remember the contents of the vision, you remember that there were several caramel authorities discussing politics, and among them was this lady that is the one lady from Illona's backstory that I will not go into detail because spoilers.
Woohoo.
Obviously, Illona did not see this. This was only Anghel seeing this. But what Illona sees instead is something that takes place in a cabin aboard this ship, which obviously has a different sort of naming scheme compared to the other ships, which is the ship of Eloise, as I think I pronounced her name right. Did I, Ashen? Is her ship.
Damn.
Now, if you remember from Angel's vision, I'm saying if you, Ashen, remember, not Illona, because Illona never saw it. Basically, the Grand Vizier, in spite of the objections of the other dignitaries, said, "You know what? I'm gonna spend time aboard that ship instead of any other ship, even though it's a foreign ship. It's not trustworthy. It raised a bunch of eyebrows, etc., etc."
Okay.
And you would how Anghel was sort of incarnated in that previous vision as a seagull, because you Medin and shit. This time, because you are shown a vision by Nictelios, you'll be incarnated as a crow, because death and all that.
Ooh. Cool.
Yeah, crow is cool.
Nice.
And you will be guided in your crow-like state to perch like on a window of the cabin of the particular cabin of that ship. As with what happened with Anghel, if you remember, Ashen, there's almost like an invisible wall preventing you from interfering directly, but you can witness and react, if that makes sense.
All right.
So, as you perch on this cabin window, feel free to contradict me, of course. You will see two individuals, namely the Grand Vizier himself, talking with your old friend Eloise. And Eloise basically not Eloise. The Grand Vizier says, "This storm keeps raging on. We really ought to go back to the city." And Eloise says, "Storms come and go. It will return. It will pass eventually." If you remember Ashen, and I think Nictelios will disclose this to you as well, Nictelios will say, "The storm is caused by your good friend Eurymedon, because he intends to keep your friend Angel's sister here so that he may personally punish her. He can be petty like that.
Right.
So that's why your friends are stuck here. Well, your friend and her friend." And Eloise continues, "But since we're here anyway, any news? Have your people found her?" And the Grand Vizier will reply, I don't know why you're so obsessed with this one. If Tivia finds out that she's here, when your friend Eloise will continue, "Well, aren't you planning on attacking and making war upon Tivia anyway?" And the Grand Vizier will continue, "You still haven't answered my question. Why are you so preoccupied with finding this friend of yours?" And Eloise will say, "Because I'd like her to have a part in what's to come." "What's that even supposed to mean?" he says. "Well, that's my business." And the Grand Vizier looks miffed. There will be a knock on the door, and Grand Vizier will say, "Fuck off already, I'm busy." And the door will be opened, in spite of the Grand Vizier's wishes, by this fellow that, if you don't remember, Ashen was basically a subordinate but also a political rival of the Grand Vizier, if you don't remember.
Okay.
And he says, what do you want?" And the subordinate, I'll use his title, the Baylor Bay, for simplicity's sake, will say, Your Excellency, I've ordered and prepared quarters aboard the Sultan Ahmed. It is a far more regal ship." And the Grand Vizier will conclude, "I thought this topic was closed. Are you here just to try my patience?" "No, Your Excellency. It's just that I would assume a man of your political acumen would understand the rumors that may sprout if you are seen in such company." And the Grand Vizier would ask, "What rumors? Enlighten me." And while I'm narrating, Ashen, feel free to intervene, well, as much as a crow that's limited can, of course.
Okay.
But the Beobe will say, "Your Excellency, please. It is not just your honor that is impeached by this. It's the honor of the sublime state, of the Sultan himself." And the Grand Vizier will say, "I've had enough of you pestering me. Is there anything else, or will you just leave?" And the Baylor Bay will say, "There was one other matter. received word from a noble woman of Bogdania. Her name, funnily enough, is Bogdana. Get to the point, the Grand Vizier interrupts. And the Beobe will say, a troop marching through the forest was ambushed by 3 people who seemed to manipulate a pack of wolves. It was a gruesome sight from what I'm told. Bandits? The Grand Vizier asks. No, we don't know. And the Grand Vizier would ask, well, what's the prince doing about this? And the Beobe will reply, I don't believe the prince knows, your highness. Your excellency, sorry. And Grand Vizier will think on this and say, have you sent anyone to find out more? I've sent a cavalry squadron to investigate, but of course it's a big country. Do you truly trust the loyalty of the prince? This is the Beobe asking, and the Grand Vizier will reply, what are you implying? Nothing, your excellency. Just as this scene implies nothing. I believe I've taken enough of your time. And the Beobe would exit and leave the scene. And the Grand Vizier would sort of like pinch the bridge of his nose in sort of exasperation. And do you, Ashen, do you know that like scene from the 300 sequel? This is random, where the like Greek commander goes to the Persian ship, a lady's ship.
Not on the top of my head, no.
Okay, I remember that scene particularly well because I thought it was just so freaking bizarre. How like they're 2 basically enemies arguing and yelling at each other, and all of a sudden, like in the middle of the argument, they just start having sex. But basically, to like parrot that scene, your good friend Eloise will say, "Well, want to prove that those rumors are unfounded, Your Excellency," and that happens.
Can Illona like interrupt by knocking on the window? Like before they start to.
You are. There's no window. There's just an opening. But you're forbidden from crossing it by some strange force.
Can I do some like knocking on the wood with my beak?
Sure. I think Nyctelios would allow you that, and I think the Grand Vizier would throw his shoe at you.
Dodge it.
Okay.
I hope.
Probably. And you fly away. And I guess here's a small hint of how your good friend is suddenly so friendly with the second most important man in the entire empire.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And as you fly away crow-like, your friend Nyctelios, not friend, but you're like, the person showing you this vision, Nyctelios, say, your thoughts, dear puppet?
Interesting. Like Illona's trying to show like the least amount of emotion she can with Nyctelios. Trying to be like, too hard to even be faced,
You know, I imagine you're quite eager to see her again, but I'm not going to allow you to. You owe me that favor, and that favor I will cash in at St. Paris and nowhere else.
Okay.
Oh.
If you even try to turn around, well, you feel in the vision your heart skip a beat and like your crow form like plummets for a second before managing to regain its form. It's like concentration, I guess, for lack of a better term.
Shit. Okay.
Are we clear, child?
That you're gonna kill me if I don't do like you want me to do?
Killing you would be far too simple. No, I will make you suffer.
I'm gonna break my
I-
legs.
I always call in on my debts.
Alright.
And, well, if all goes well, I think you'll quite enjoy this prank too.
Let's hope so.
Let's, for your sake. And I think the vision would end as, I think at this point, Anghel would like shake you awake, Illona, because it's your turn to take the watch. If that makes sense
Okay.
for everyone.
Yeah.
I think Ilona's like visibly shaken. Like her hands are shaking, like weird breath, you know? Can't really breathe properly.
Anghel notices that. Maybe he signs. You're right.
Nightmare. That's all. My turn, I guess.
He nods.
Alright. Sleep tight, Ilona says as she like walks away.
Oh, right, I need to do the thing. Right, before, maybe even after or during while Anghel goes to sleep. As I mentioned, because Anghel is now on the positive side of the Prince Charming scale, that means there are actually visible effects for that. And
Ooh.
I need to roll to see which visible effect that will
Oh
be.
shit.
1,
What
2,
does that
3,
mean?
4, 5, 6. It's all technically good stuff for the positive side, at least.
Okay.
And
One.
technically.
One is, I guess, the most subtle one, and the one that is hardest for Anghel himself to pick up on, but easiest for other people to pick up on, if that makes sense.
Oh boy. Okay.
Illona, as like Anghel shakes you awake and you have this conversation, for whatever reason, his like worry and his presence, you feel calmer and more at ease, and more like, yeah, I can handle whatever's next, whatever's coming next. Like,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
with Anghel, with Prince Charming by my side, yeah, I can do this.
God. Okay.
Cool.
Cool.
I think this, well, let me check. Yeah, this is the one effect of the ones I had in mind that does not physically transform Anghel, just his aura.
I was wondering if that was what it meant. I hope it doesn't become blonde or something.
Funny enough, I did think of that because blonde hair was a standard of beauty, but I thought, it's a bit too funny
It
German
suit
man.
him. Come on.
Funny German man.
But yeah, so Illona, again, for what a reason you don't really understand, you feel reassured and comforted by Anghel's presence, even when he doesn't like directly make the effort to comfort you. Like, you sort of feel, yeah, this is someone I can rally behind instinctively.
Nice. I think Ilona would like stick around a bit longer in that case instead of just like walking off, just because it's like calming.
Walking off, you're
she
supposed to guard everyone.
No, but like walking off to guard. Or do I
fair
just
enough.
sit up straight and open my eyes?
I think you just sit by the fire where everyone else is also sleeping, but you're the only one awake.
Okay. Alright. Ilona would say like anything looking off. Did anything go good? Calm night?
Anghel, shrugs like, yeah.
Nice.
It's a reassuring.
Good lad.
Good talk.
It's a reassuring shrug, though. Like, it's one that doesn't seem lacking in confidence, but like, yeah, there's nothing to worry about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's a
that's how he meant
confident
it.
shrug.
Yeah. As for which do you guys prefer, Muninn or Anghel to have the next vision that I prepared?
I don't know.
Either in terms of like narrative order, either works rather.
I don't mind. It sort of makes sense for. It makes sense either way because Angel's just going to bed. We're going to see his dream straight away.
But you've been sleeping for longer.
Right. Exactly. So I don't mind either way.
Me neither.
Okay. Then eeny, meeny, miny, mo, my finger landed on my screen on Muninn, so I guess we'll go with Muninn. All right?
Okay.
So, Muninn, as you went to sleep previously and you reflect on the dream that you had, you find yourself once again in the library building that you've seen previously in a vision from Acacius. Only this time there are no other people around. There are no books around for you to study. If you remember, the little bonus that I mentioned only applies as long as you have the orb of Acacius, which you don't at the moment.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
So this is a different narrative, perhaps. As in front of you, you will see a certain handsome, sort of androgynous looking youth that you would immediately identify as Acacius once I find the actual token.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I remember that's how Teeironor described him last time too.
Yeah, the guy who gave you the honey, you remember?
The honey, yeah.
I do remember now, yeah.
Oh, that's why I couldn't find his token. I have his token saved under the name Young Beekeeper.
Nice.
But yeah, this fellow that you see on screen, and you find him like perched on a reading table. You know that like famous statue, the like prehistoric statue of the thinker?
Yeah.
So that's basically what he's doing. He's like sitting like supporting his head on a fist that's like supported on his knee, and he turns to look at you and smiles at you and says, "You've done as well as you could, child, given the circumstance. I appreciate the aid you've given in eliminating the priest." The monk, rather.
Muninn, yeah, the monk. Muninn would give a nod to Acacius's avatar, the beekeeper, and sort of as they look around, they sort of like run their hands along like maybe an empty bookshelf or something to like, you know, when people do that to see if there's any dust or anything.
It's impeccably kept. That said, you do notice some changes, but not to the bookshelf, but to you yourself, as Acacius has changed your appearance to better fit his standards of beauty, aka your beard is entirely shaved and you're no longer wearing pants but a toga. He finds pants to be disturbing.
Oh, damn.
No pants. Oh.
No pants.
Yeah,
I mean, you're concealed by a toga. It's just that it's it's like wearing a robe, not pants.
Yeah, that makes sense. Muninn would not mind the toga as much, even though they did notice it, but then they would like...
Oh, and not just your beard, but also your hair is trimmed.
Oh, okay. They would...
Wait. Did he shave the legs as well? For the toga?
Good question.
I need to know.
The toga does not... The toga covers the legs, so it's irrelevant.
Okay. Alright.
Okay.
As to whether he actually did or not, I'll leave that up to Dely, I guess.
Yeah. I guess Muninn would feel like the breeze on their face, or like because when you shave, like you can sort of, and then they would like go to like scratch their beard and notice that they're like clean shaven, and they would say like, "Oh,
it's better that way." I don't understand how you can walk around looking like that. No offense.
I'll try not to take it personally. And Muninn would keep scratching as if like it's like a phantom itch, right?
Yeah. And go ahead.
I guess Muninn would say, it seems pretty lonely in here.
Especially since, well, he like points with his arm to like one part of the room, indicating that you should look there. And do you do that?
Yeah.
You will see the impaled corpse of Goodeye. Well, a projection of it, obviously, as you will say. That was short-sighted of you.
I think Muninn would.
Sure. Is that supposed to be a pun?
Yeah.
Short-sighted. Okay.
That's a good pun. I like it. I think Muninn would.
He has this like confident smile. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. Muninn would genuinely, I think, because on the outside they would try and steal themselves and sort of not gauge or not sort of react. But I think they would genuinely, probably surprisingly, like be shocked at the sight of that. They're like, "Oh my god! Like, holy shit! I did that," kind of situation.
Yes, you did that.
Muninn would turn away and they would just say like, "Why have you brought me here?"
To warn you and to teach you, ungrateful little child.
Well, if you're gonna teach me that I made a mistake, then I would rather you save your breath. Like mistake as in terms of.
Oh, I'm not here to teach you. I'm not here to teach you that. The mistake will come to bite you when you're behind, whether I do so or not. It's to give you a warning and to present your options. Because of what you did, the mark of destiny is upon you. The mythical laws of this land are admittedly strange. Not what I am used to, but the Free Fates believe that you would make for the best replacement Goodeye.
Muninn would fold their arms and they would say like, "Why? I killed Goodeye." Like, as in, why would they choose me?
He shrugs and says, "I am not one to question their ways, child. I just know what they will. Even us deities are subject to their whims." And go ahead.
Sorry, go on. Muninn would ask, doesn't that change your plans a bit? I thought I was supposed to be your
not necessarily
champion.
Not necessarily, if you'd let me finish.
Okay.
Destiny is set, but perhaps not immutable. The dragon Wu come to bestow the curse upon you and ravage the landscape wherever you may be when he finds you. But of course there are options to subvert that.
Okay.
I will be... You are a gifted and intelligent child, so I will be blunt with presenting the choices. I do not believe subterfuge would aid me in informing you of your choices.
Muninn would take a deep breath and say, like, "Okay, well, what can you tell me?"
Well, your first option, to the one that would certainly avoid this fate, is... He sighs and says, one that I obviously hope that you do not take. Obviously, it means repenting sincerely to the followers of the anathema, perhaps becoming a monk yourself, giving up your life in search of redemption, which, well, would obviously put you under the anathema's protection and prevent you from this. He points at your forehead, indicating where your one eye would grow.
Oh no.
The one eye is the deal breaker.
Yeah, it
Shit.
is.
But that's a choice that I imagine is not even worth considering.
Moon would nod and they would say, I've already dedicated my life to studying and knowledge, so I'm not gonna throw that away.
Of course, then there's the choice of just accepting your fate, becoming good eye, following your companion, what's his name, Anghel, around, following, unquestioningly obeying his orders and participating in the eventual destruction of the dragon, and living happily ever after as his subject once he establishes his kingdom, as is his destiny as Prince Charming.
Oh damn! I get a kingdom.
Yeah. Oh my god. Muninn would look to the dead body of Good Eye if it's still there, and they would say
yeah, it's there. Cassis wants to remind you that this is your fault.
yeah. They would say there must be a way to they would say there must be a way to subvert fate.
There are two other choices that I have not mentioned. I was just letting that sink in, child.
Muninn wouldn't, how do I put it? They would reluctantly ask, what are the other options? Because in a way that is they don't want to seem desperate, but they obviously need to ask because they are a little bit desperate. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Akesis would say, sort of idly inspecting his fingernails, like this is a casual conversation. There's, of course, the dragon, even though he is very much the subject of fate and bound by it, he also seeks to subvert it. When you encounter him, if you encounter him, he will offer you a deal. Basically, to perform a task for it, and in exchange he will not curse you with the curse of becoming Good Eye. That does, of course, mean that there will be no Good Eye in the world, because the one that is supposed to be is not cursed, and the dragon will forever stay undefeated. And of course, the task that the dragon has in mind will also certainly be unpleasant, but it would mean maintaining your autonomy, and you would certainly not be subjected to any of these outside forces.
Muninn would sigh, and they would at least consider, they would say, I would rather face death than lose my free will, basically, is what they would say.
So this is your preferred choice of the three so far? Well, there's a fourth one, but of the three so far?
I suppose it's the better option, but what can you tell me of the fourth option?
Interesting. The fourth option, sorry, I just hit my microphone. As there is, of course, the choice of submitting yourself to the free and averting your destiny thusly, and someone else being appointed as a Good Eye, etc., etc., there is the same option, but on the other side of the scale. I require a representative in the world, an oracle, if you will. I can offer you all the knowledge that you desire, better attunement to the mystical world, knowledge of ancient magic, in exchange for your servitude.
So I think Muninn would almost blurt out. So either way, I'd be a slave to something.
It is the consequences of your own actions, and I am a gentler master than the dragon. I'll tell you at least that much. Above board, do you need basically a recap of your 4 choices, at least as Acacius has presented them?
Potentially, if that's all right. I get the gist, but maybe a recap would be good. Yeah.
Choice number 1, just become good eye. Choice number 2, accept the dragon's deal, which would mean that you would not be cursed to become good eye, but it would mean you'd probably have to do something messed up, and there would never be another good eye. The dragon will go forever undefeated. Choice number 3 is basically repent to that in the face of the free, become, if not a monk, or at least a servant to the church, and thus you escape your destiny as good eye. There will be a different good eye. Choice number 4 is similar to choice number 3, but on the other side of the scale, become Acacius's oracle.
Yeah. Okay. Muninn wouldn't be very. I think Muninn would not try to hide their disappointment in the lack of choice, I guess. And they would say like,
lack of choice. There's 4 choices.
Right, but when you boil it down, it's like none of them are good. Should I say? Mm-hmm. It's like two of them you're a slave to something. One of them in fact, if not all of them are probably you have to dedicate your life to something or someone.
Yeah, though servitude. This is generally speaking, not like whatchamacallit, pertaining to one particular choice or another, but not all forms of servitude are equal. Just as an example, Ribob is technically a slave, but you see he has a lot of autonomy. Just as an example.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
And also, being a servant of Acacius is different than being a servant of the church, which is different than being a servant of destiny as good eye.
Yeah, that makes sense. So Muninn would ask, what do you have to gain for... Muninn would ask Acacius, what do you have to gain for telling me this? Do you expect me to...
An offer, of course. Isn't it obvious what I have to gain? If I were in your place as a mortal, I'd certainly would like to become my oracle.
But then that's easy for you to say. So Muninn would say, yeah.
Of course I'm biased, child. And thus you understand my interest in showing you these visions. That being said, I am not a merciless master. And in recognition of your service in removing that bothersome monk, even though you unleashed an army of savages upon the world, but I guess that's a different matter. In recognition for your servitude, regardless of your choice, well, unless you choose to become a slave to the church, in which case the offer is off, but regardless of your choice, I'm willing to begin teaching you magic.
Muninn's eyes would widen. Again, they're trying to be a little bit, because they're not Acacius' biggest fan, but they would be very enticed by that, I guess. And they would try to hide it, but they are very like, oh, that's interesting.
Of course, the best way you could make use of magic is by becoming my servant directly as my oracle. Although a more transactional relationship as a mere auspex is also perfectly appropriate. Above board, an auspex is basically an ancient Rimlen magician.
Nice. For their whole life. Okay. Muninn would nod, and they would say, how long do I have until I can make this decision? Until I need to make this decision, should I say?
The dragon will likely appear tomorrow, perhaps around noon. So likely until
What?
then.
Oh,
What?
shit. I think Muninn would say, oh, shit, like out loud.
Language, but indeed. The sentiment is valid, even though your language is quite crass.
Yeah. Well, Muninn shrugs and they say, like, well, I guess I haven't got a lot of time to decide, so...
No, you do not.
How can I, just as a reminder, how can I talk to you, if once I've made my decision?
As you always have, child. Simply ask, and I shall be there.
Okay, good.
You are an interesting prospect. I will be listening closely if you desire to take me up on my offer.
Muninn would admit the prospect of learning magic is interesting as well. I can't deny that, but I will have to think on this.
Take as much time as you have.
Above board, I like how you said have and not need.
Yes, I did it on purpose. Ha, ha, ha.
Yeah, I like that.
Take as much time as you have.
I like that. Okay, Muninn would nod and say, like, well, as much as I feel as difficult as this decision would be to make, I appreciate your insight, at least. And that Muninn would, like, begrudgingly, like, thank. It's like a begrudging, like gratitude, if you know what I mean.
He smiles and says, "You know, it is often truly difficult to find willing students. I am appreciative of you as well, even if perhaps you will make the wrong choice and our time together will be cut short."
Well, we'll have to see what decision I make.
The correct one, hopefully. Above board, now you probably know why someone insisted that you read the book today, specifically the part about the Oracle.
Yeah, definitely. Muninn would, I think Muninn would joke and say, like, I could always just pluck my own eyes out and circumvent all of this.
Oh, you would grow for a new one. Do not worry.
Ugh. Muninn shudders and
if you pluck that one out, well, you won't be able to perform your duty as Good Eye, but you'll still be Good Eye until you die, and there will be a new one.
Muninn sighs, because that was something above what I was considering doing. That would be quite not suicide, but like like plucking my eyes out, I think, and in the middle eye. Sorry, I was considering that.
Gruesome, but okay.
Yeah, Muninn would sigh in relief, but also because they're glad that they're glad that they don't have to do that, but also in frustration because it's like, oh, god damn it, that could have been my ticket out, but never mind. So yeah.
Well, you're clever enough. If you can think of a different way to circumvent your fate, I will be watching eagerly. Though I sincerely doubt it. No offense to you. It's just that you've trapped yourself in a no-win scenario, I believe you call it.
I guess Muninn would say, I guess I would think twice in the future before burning buildings down. Or burning bridges, actually, Muninn would say. Burning bridges.
Oh, there'll be plenty of more burning if you decide to become my servant, just the right kind of burning.
Well, sorry. So I was trying not to cough. Muninn would nod again, and they would say, like, well, thank you again. How does this work? How do I leave this place?
Like this. And you wake up as the morning sun shines upon you. But obviously you don't wake up yet because Anghel needs to have his dream.
Yeah, cool. Hell yeah.
Oh damn! I'm scared.
That was really cool, by the way.
Yeah, it was. It was awesome.
So yeah, there's 4 choices. Maybe if you can find another one above board, you'd probably have to think of one because I can't think of another one. But yeah.
Yeah, I would have to sit down and have a think, like the thinker.
But yeah, that's the 4 choices that he's given you. Actually become good eye, accept the dragon's deal, which would be bad for everyone except you. Go the church route or go the Acacius route, like fully commit to one.
Okay. So, sorry, church route, which is, just so I can write this down very quickly. Church route, which is repent.
Yeah. And
dragon route.
Regarding the church route, conveniently you find yourself at what used to be the biggest monastery in the land, and some of the most important monks in the land who would gladly accept you.
Hell yeah.
Not knowing that they're the reason why it burned down in the first place. But
Yeah.
Well,
Keep that under wraps.
a big aspect of the faith is the idea of redemption. So you know.
Okay.
And then Acacius route. Okay, cool. I've got this all written down.
Church route, Acacius route, Good Eye route, or Dragon route, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I've got written. Hell yeah. It's a tough decision to make. I'm glad that like it's not actually tomorrow IRL that we have to I have to make this decision for or whatever. But
unless like Anghel's vision lasts only for like a couple minutes, and then you guys decide, okay, let's head on the road and fast travel, and suddenly it's noon. Okay, I guess I'll have the dragon show up.
Yeah, let's not do that. We're gonna have a long breakfast in the morning.
Maybe. And Show&Tell, I guess it's Anghel's turn. Are you up?
I guess so.
Okay. You will be granted a vision by everyone's favorite angry water deity, Rimlen, as usual.
Well, hello. We haven't talked in a while.
And as you see yourself, you find yourself as a familiar sight near this little port town that you've seen before from a perspective of a seagull. But this time you find yourself as a small rat aboard the La Justitia, or La Justitia, I'm not sure how to pronounce it exactly. And as you're scurrying about, you hear the voice of Rimlen. Do you enjoy killing and tormenting innocent children? Referring to his ogres.
Yeah, I get that. I kind of want... Well, I guess the response is the middle finger, but I don't know if you can do that as a rat.
If you can figure out how, it is a universally acknowledged gesture.
How nice. Well, I don't know.
But this is like what happened the previous time. A vision that I would include Deli and Ashen in if you guys are willing. Are you with us?
For sure.
Ashen, if you don't mind playing the old monk lady again.
Yeah.
And Show&Tell would be playing Anghel's sister, if that's all right. And
Yeah, okay.
And Deli, since your character died and we talked about a new one, you'll be playing, if that's all right with you, the new character, namely the guard that's watching over these two Zeki that if you remember the two of us discussing.
Deli not here.
Deli not here?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. I'll just put Zeki on screen.
That's a big ass hat.
It is. A lot of people have big ass hats in this place, but as until Deli gets back. Oh, you're here. Are you here, Deli?
I don't think so.
Okay. Since Deli is the guard, and guards can be played, however, I guess I will just ask Ashen and Show&Tell, please don't interact with the guard until Deli gets back, I guess.
Guard. No,
But as you guys are housed aboard La Justitia, or however you pronounce it, and Show&Tell, Anghel sees this again from the perspective of a rat, sort of crouching, not crouching, but like hiding in one of the like hidey holes that rats have. And again, there's this invisible force that prevents you from directly stepping into the room, even though you can see everything going on. Make sense? Willa and Mia, aka Anghel's sister and the old monk lady that Ashen plays, ever since the events of last time when the Grand Vizier bought the two of you, you have been housed, surprisingly enough, in an officer's room aboard this ship, which is obviously not very luxurious because it's a ship, so cramped and like a bit like seasicky, if that makes sense. But it's still more luxurious than sleeping in your own filth in the slave markets, at least.
Okay.
You've been treated well enough so far, but obviously you are very, very much prisoners here. I'm curious, I suppose, how have the two of you been feeling?
Wait,
My back hurts.
do we know who bought us?
Well, yeah,
Did we cover that?
Yeah, he bullied you, the Grand Vizier.
Oh, and ended up buying us. I forgot about that. Okay.
Yeah, he bullied you until like you remember the thing of should I buy your friend too? What do you think? Sort of like bullying Willa.
Okay. And has he come to?
Other than like moving you to your quarters and like assigning people, no, he has not come. The only people you've seen are the guard Zeki, that is theoretically played by Deli, and like people bringing you food or like changing your chamber pot or whatever.
Okay. How are we feeling?
You've been here probably a day.
A day. Okay, I feel like Willa is trying to, gauge her surroundings and trying to find ways. I'm thinking like to find something she can. I don't know. Use as a weapon, maybe. But
you find a quill and the like You know how like buckets are held in place with like metal? Like if you can rip the metal off, I guess there's that.
Mm-hmm.
But also keep in mind you're on a ship surrounded by enemy soldiers.
Yeah, she doesn't want to like really attack anyone, but she just wants it as protection
Fair enough.
in
Fair
case
enough.
something happens.
What about Mia? I'm curious.
Her back hurts.
Yes! Ow!
Did I hear Dely's voice?
Hello, sorry about that.
No worries, no worries. How much did you hear?
A little bit. I think.
Okay, Willa and Mia are kept prisoner. They've been here for a day. Zeki is guarding them. The only person they've seen is Zeki and like the servants like bringing them food and like changing their chamber pot and all that. It's an officer's room, so it's fairly luxurious, but it's still aboard the ship, so it's not, that luxurious.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Oh my god.
So I guess now that you're here, what's been Zeki's reaction to his two charges? I think we settled on Zeki being a he.
Yes, absolutely. So what's Zeki's reaction to the whole situation? Sorry,
Not
or-
reaction, just thoughts overall, and like what his attitude towards his like two charges,
Two charges.
aka the two women he's guarding. That's what I mean.
Right. I mean, I guess like probably he. I'm not sure. I think if they're like being rowdy or like making a lot of noise, like he's probably getting a bit annoyed. Maybe it's like, oh god damn it, I gotta like take charge of these like loud people or whatever. But other than that, like I guess I'm just doing my duty, if you know what I mean.
Understandable.
If they do sort of get riled up or whatever, or like start talking to each other, I'll probably like, if I have a weapon, I'll probably like hit the cage. Like I'll hit like I'll bang on the floor or whatever, depending on what type of the weapon it is. And I'll say like, keep it down or whatever.
Understandable. Feel free to comment on that, Ashen and Show&Tell. You guys let me know. But I think as Anghel through the eyes of a rat sees this, someone will approach this sort of gilded cage of a room. Zeki, you will recognize one of the Grand Vizier's personal dignitaries, like a close friend of his, that I will put on screen in a moment. This elderly fellow, as he will greet you as the guard and say, I have been assigned to the two of them.
He's
Not
greeting-
not as a guard, but probably like, you don't know actually. He just says, I've been assigned to the two of them, but he definitely does not look like a guard.
right.
Sign.
Yeah. And he's talking. Sorry, he's talking to me.
Yeah, I mean, because he's asking permission to go in.
Right, of course. I guess, have I ever seen him before?
Yeah. He's again a close friend of the Grand Vizier, your master, and
Okay.
one of his like personal dignitaries, and he's known to be a very knowledgeable person.
Okay. If this was anyone else, I would probably stay like, where's your warrant? Like, give me your papers and that. But because this is a respected guy, I think I would stand to attention and then sort of move to the side.
Thank you. Do you open the door for him?
Yes.
Willa and Mia, you see this unfamiliar elderly gentleman be ushered in.
Willa, sorry.
Go ahead.
She just kind of jumps to her feet. Are we tied or something?
No.
Like
You
that?
are unrestrained in this room.
Okay.
What was my character's name again?
Mia,
Mia?
M-I-A.
She would like look to the ground and try not to be like, like to just blend into the room. Not here.
He turns to the two of you and speaks he speaks in your respective languages for both of your benefits. First, I guess, to Willa and then to Mia. And he'd introduce himself. My name is Sachte Denise. I have been assigned as a tutor for the two of you. I am to teach you the caramel language and the manners at court to make you as presentable as possible for the great Sultan.
Mia would look up and look very like confused, like what, but like also nod, like wow.
Willa says a tutor, like she the first when he first says it, she's like, because she was ready for anything kind of, and then he says that, and she's like, kind of taken aback, I guess, but she also looks interested.
I have also been assigned as your caretaker. So if there are any complaints, any matters of comfort that you wish addressed regarding your lodgings, please forward them to me, and I will take the appropriate measures to make sure that you are settled in.
Go ahead.
I just feel like Willa was kind of ready for a fight, and then the like she deflates, I guess, a little bit.
Do you, first of all, may I have your names?
Mia, I just learned it. No. She would say Mia, yeah.
Do you say Mia or?
Yeah, what's yours? Sorry, I can't be the leader.
He says, I told you, Sachte Denise, and I'll type it in chat just in case.
Sachte what now?
I'll type it in chat.
Okay. Nice. Pleased to meet you, Sachte Denise.
Bows respectfully to you.
Oh, wow.
I feel like so conflicted. I feel like Willa is conflicted. Because she doesn't want to go along with this, but she also knows she can take it out on this dude. So I guess she says Willa.
Pleasure to meet you as well, and he bows respectfully to you as well.
And I think Mia is trying to like comfort Willa a bit in this, so she lays like a hand on Willa's shoulder and like smiles reassuringly.
Willa kind of pats her face. I see the family.
Did you say she pets her head, or did I completely mishear?
Hand.
Okay. Just pats her straight in the forehead. Yeah, good lady. I was like, is nobody reacting to this? Is this normal?
And I think while Willa and Mia have this brief interaction, Sachte Denise will, I guess, take the opportunity while they are quote-unquote distracted to look straight at the mouse, aka Anghel, and let out a wolfish grin.
Oh no!
And you just like make it, he would want to make it extra clear in the mouse's like viewpoint. Willa and Mia don't see this, but the mouse sort of sees the beard like slightly changed shape as well as the facial features to resemble the figure you once saw in the reflection of a pond you met in.
Yeah, I got it. And Anghel Mouse is trying to like with all his forces is trying to break through the barrier. I know it's impossible, but
Yeah.
he can't help himself.
This fellow will return his attention to Willa and Mia and like smile that innocent old man smile and say, "Tell me, please, do any of you know perhaps the caramel language already?"
What languages did Willa start learning?
I think it would be caramel because it's the like trade language and yeah.
Okay. So she says, "I do."
Excellent. That will make it easier. Although, of course, we need to iron out some of the more perhaps low-class expressions that you may know to make a more suitable introduction.
She narrows her eyes, but she doesn't say anything.
And you, madam? Asking Mia. I don't think Mia knows. I think we established that Mia does not know caramel.
Yeah, let's go with caramel, man.
She says, "Man."
No, she says that, but like in an old lady way, and not like
Young man.
young man. I would like to start with caramel. Thank you.
He, the tutor has this expression of like, "Oh, I feel flattered," if that makes sense. And he says, "Oh, you are kind. Your words are too kind. So, perhaps if you will, and there are several chairs in this cabin, and he'd like sit down in one. He'll say, before we begin this education, perhaps you would like to tell me more about yourselves. I find it best to I find it that pupils are best taught if they are agreeable to their teacher, and vice versa."
Mia would nod, but Mia's Ashen. I don't really know her backstory.
Yeah. I am the backstory that I had in mind. I ran it by you way back when, but of course, feel free to disagree. Mia was basically a nun, and nuns are supposed to be celibate, but she had an illicit relationship, and because of that, while she was sneaking away from the monastery, she got caught by the invading caramel army and thus captured as a slave.
All right. And how long ago was that?
The capturing thing, a couple months ago.
Damn, okay.
Damn! By contrast, Willa was only captured like 2 weeks ago-ish. Now we don't have to... Go ahead.
Willa kind of hugs herself. Wait, so we haven't yet started talking, like telling him the story or anything.
No, obviously we can skip past that. There is one other thing that above board I'd like to show you, but obviously above go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I just want to like. It's funny that he says it that way because it makes Willa kind of
uncomfortable.
Yeah, even more like on guard around him. Like when she talks about her past, she just says, "I was kidnapped from my family, from my home," or something. Like very pointedly.
I think he would sort of notice the tone and say, "Do you perhaps wish not to speak of it yet?" It is perfectly fine if you do not want to speak of it yet. I am only here to assist you and provide a helpful ear if you need it.
She kind of looks away from him and she doesn't say anything.
I think this is above board, but I think above board you can sort of guess that Eurymedon's plan is to gain Willa's trust. I'm curious what's Anghel feeling.
He's batting his little rat head. I don't know. He's feeling very helpless.
Thinking about cheese, man. Cheese. I can't stop.
Understandable.
That too.
While this conversation is happening, Deli, Zeki, you see another person approaching the cabin that I will put on screen briefly. Well, in a second. Maybe I don't think I'll put it on screen quite yet, but basically you'd recognize this lady as another fellow guardsman, like a comrade in arms of yours, and she says,
Okay.
I'm here to relieve you.
I would stand to attention, and I would. Should I roll a clever or something? Like, does that sound about right? Is it my turn to leave?
Yeah, it's more or less Zeki's turn for like the shift change. Zeki wasn't necessarily sure that she would be the one taking his place, but it is about time for the shift change. I say that he is not sure about who the person that's supposed to take his place because this is the first day that this entire thing has been happening. So, like, it's also the first time he's been relieved, if that makes sense.
Right, that makes sense. Okay. In that case, Zeki would he would stand at attention and like nod as to the oncoming. You said it was a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Zeki would nod to the oncoming woman and say like, "Oh, these prisoners have been like." Maybe Zeki would do a brief rundown of how they've been, like temperament-wise.
Mm-hmm.
And then Zeki would say like, like in a low tone, like they're also being spoken to by, and then Zeki would say,
I know.
Yes. Oh. Okay.
I've been briefed by His Excellency.
Right. Okay. In that case, have Zeki would say like have a good watch, but if there was like a term for that, like that is known for watchmen, I guess,
Probably
or guardsmen.
Probably like a military salute and something like glory to the Sultan or something like that.
Yeah. In that case, Zeki would do that. Like glory to the Sultan, and Zeki would.
She would imitate the gesture.
Yeah. In that case, Zeki would relieve himself of his post, or rather, let himself be relieved of his post. Bow or like nod or something before he left, and then sort of march away.
And she would say, "Thank you. I'll let you know how it goes in the morning."
Well, thank you.
Actually, it would be kind of afternoon. Whatever.
Yeah. Thank you. I will see you then.
Nods at you. And meanwhile, inside, as Willa and Mia converse with the tutor, they would hear a knock at the door. The tutor looks mildly confused, and the new guard would enter the room. This lady that you may or may not recognize. Don't know if you guys recognize her or not.
Oh my
does
God,
ring a bell.
yes.
Does ring a bell.
Yes,
yeah.
it's the sister. What's her name?
Okay, it's his sister, yes. Erisina.
What?
Because she promised to take care of Angel's sister.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Oh.
She enters the room and says, "My apologies. My name is Okchu, and I'll be your guard for the rest of the night and the morning." And Anghel, you see this, and Okchu, aka totally not Erisina, looks at you, Mouse Anghel, and gives you like a slight smile, like, it's alright.
Anghel, like, yeah, he's really relieved. He lets out a squeak.
The tutor looks like his facade of like the fake smile cracks for a second, He says, Okchu, right. I look forward to your continued service. As do I, she replies to him with a forced smile. And now that his vision has been subverted, I think Eurymedon will like abruptly end it for you, Anghel, because he doesn't want to give you hope.
Too late for that, Buster.
God damn.
Yeah. Yeah. So, that those are the plot device visions that you all receive. Ashen, are you still with us?
Mm-hmm.
How are you with time?
I kind of gotta go.
Sure. First of all, thank you for sticking around with us. Second of all, how should we play Illona?
Oh, I don't know. I trust you guys.
Okay.
Do what feels right.
Okay.
Oh, with Illona there.
Okay. Noted. Thank you. Third of all, thank you. Well, thank you for playing and for reprising your role as Illona as Mia. And fourth of all, can you please talk about yourself and what you are doing?
Oh, yeah, okay. I'm Ash, and I'm on Instagram sometimes. There I paint stuff. And thank you guys for the session. It was really nice. Super fun playing. And good luck with the rest of it.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you
We'll
as
see you
well.
See
later.
ya. Bye-bye.
Bye, Ashen.
Bye.
Bye, Ashen. So back to the main scene. What was the like order of operations? Oh yeah, Anghel waking up Illona. Did we have a scene about that? I don't remember.
About what?
Anghel waking up Illona so that Illona can take
Yeah,
her turn.
and she felt comforted by his
Yeah.
shrug.
Okay.
By his shrug.
Yeah, fair enough. If I remember correctly, Ashen did not really discuss the details of her dream, so okay. Then I think if it's all right with you guys, we would rejoin the lot of you in the morning as the sun rises and you guys begin waking up. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Let's go.
I guess Illona would be the first one awake. So whomever wakes up second would see Illona awake.
Okay.
How do we decide who wakes up?
However you want. BRB,
I
mean-
I'm taking a drink of water. BRB.
I mean, Muninn slept longer.
I was gonna suggest that, yeah. So I'd be happy with waking up next. As long as you are, Show&Tell. As in,
Sure.
as long as you're happy. Yeah, okay, cool.
So, if you remember Dely, the like last sort of thing in Muninn's vision was Muninn asking, okay, so how does this vision end? And Makesi said, like this, wake up.
Right. Muninn would jolt awake and they would, I feel like they would be a little bit startled because that was quite sudden.
Whoa,
and-
calm down, I think Illona would say.
Muninn would like be heavily breathing and they would say, what time is it? What time is it? And then they would look to the sun if they could see it.
It's morning. We're on track with the schedule, I think.
Could I see the sun? As in, I say, can I see the sun? Is it like not? It's not obstructed by like clouds or trees or anything like that.
I guess I should roll for the weather. Why not?
Okay.
The higher the number, the like nicer the weather, I guess.
Yeah.
Almost average. What's almost average weather? Cloudy, small chance of rain, but mostly sunny, I guess, would be the most average weather for this place and time
Okay.
of year. Pleasant enough morning. Feel free to give me a careful to like make out the time, but it'll be an easy roll, especially since Illona gave you a hint, so she'll give you an assist.
Okay.
Yeah, with a 5, as Illona implied, you guys are more or less on schedule. Like, you've slept the number of hours that you plan to sleep and woken up on quote-unquote schedule It's early morning. It's not too late to like find Ophelia or anything like that, and you're not necessarily in a hurry.
Okay. Muninn would sigh in relief, and they would say like, under their breath, they would probably say like, "Oh, thank the gods," or they would say something equivalent to. Then they would look to Illona and say, "Where's Anghel?"
Points at him. He's right there. He's right there. Both I, Illona, and I, the DM, say.
Yeah, he's sleeping, isn't he? As in above board, he's sleeping.
Show&Tell's choice. Show&Tell's choice.
Yeah, I think maybe he's like starting to wake up too.
Okay.
And what I don't know if he wakes up like in a total like terror or something. But maybe a little bit, like he's a little confused and stuff.
Yeah.
Always Thirsty and the horse are sleeping, just for context sake.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You guys look like you had bad dreams. I think Illona would say.
Muninn would nod. Muninn would look to Anghel to be like, "Oh, did you as well?" Like they would like ask with their eyes, if that makes sense.
Anghel would kind of do this like so gesture with his hand.
Yeah. Muninn would say could be better. I think Muninn would try and abbreviate what they're trying to say, if that makes sense, and they would say like, "I think we need to get moving as soon as we can."
All right. I think Illona would say.
Anghel nods. Yep.
Yeah.
That's good.
By the way,
the dragon's coming tomorrow. I'm kidding.
Today.
Today? Shit, it's today.
Yeah.
Right.
By the way, Delia, I have not forgotten about your compel. The compel I gave you, rather.
I have, you see.
Which compel? What compel?
That Deli has to reveal in a very clumsy way that Muninn knows that Ophelia got beat up. But in a clumsy way, like sort of like, oh, like the manner, like the way your cousin beat the crap out of you or whatever, something like that.
Yeah. That's not good. Okay. I guess Muninn would say to everyone like, Muninn would say to everyone like, just so we're on the same page, we have until this afternoon before the dragon comes.
What? Says Illona. What dragon?
The dragon. The one that has been.
Why is he coming? I think Illona would say.
Sits up.
I mean, I think he. Muninn would say, the dragon wants. The dragon is the like fated sort of not boss battle, but you know what I mean. The fated fight that we have to that we've been avoiding this whole time. Do you not remember?
Show&Tell? Your Prince Charming instinct is like really kicking into gear. Like the dragon's coming. This is the perfect chance to kill him.
Yeah, Anghel like is filled with determination.
Above board, it's obviously too early to kill the dragon because you don't have all the companions and the conditions are not right. But Prince Charming still feels like he has to try.
Right.
Oh, okay, right. Damn. Yeah.
Muninn would say, Muninn would like emphasize like we don't have a lot of time. It is this afternoon, at noon.
How do you know? Wait, I think I can guess how you know. I would say.
Muninn would nod and be like, yeah, and then they would like point to, they would like tap their head, if that makes sense, to be like, or their temple to be like, yeah, in here, I guess you spoke to me. And they would say
Illona
like,
shudders, I think.
yeah. And Muninn would emphasize, I don't know about you, I don't really want to I don't want to face this dragon like half-cocked.
I don't want to face this dragon at all, I think Illona would say.
Yeah.
We have to face this dragon.
What?
Would Anghel sign that?
What are you talking about? I think Illona would say. It's a dragon.
Right, bad. We need to stop him.
You know, big, scary, fire-breathing, flying.
Eh.
I mean, it's not what any of us wanted, I guess, but Muninn would be what's the word? Conflicted. They would say like, I don't want to fight it either, but I don't see a lot of other choices. And then they would say,
there are other choices. We run away.
We can't run away.
Also, I know I'm like parroting Illona a lot, but if I say something that you guys think Illona would not say, please stop me.
Oh no, of course, yeah. You haven't said anything. You haven't said anything bad.
Yeah.
But yeah. I think Muninn would emphasize the point of like, I don't want to face this thing, but if we don't face this thing our way, like if we don't prepare for this fight our way, then this fight is going to come to us, like, and we're going to be unprepared. Like it's going to be on their terms, you know, on the dragon's terms.
How do we prepare? It's a dragon.
Muninn would think for a minute with their hands on their.
Is the dragon? I'm assuming it won't be affected by the ladle and stuff.
No, it will, because it's a magical creature.
Oh, okay.
That's good to know.
Oh, right. The ladle is from the Okay. So Anghel, brandishes his ladle.
Illona looks at you like you've lost your mind.
I don't think that would be enough for Anghel, but it's a start, at least.
Anghel fills up his chest, like, to make himself look big.
Yeah.
And Anghel, you do feel confident that you can take the dragon on now. Even though above board, it's not the right time and you're unprepared, Anghel feels that way, because Prince Charming is known to, like, fall prey to his own pride.
Oh, shit. Yeah. I do wonder, though, is the tale, like, will we understand what the dragon is here for? From the tale?
Well, Muninn knows, of course. As to whether Anghel or Illona would know, Illona, I don't think she would, because it's not her her culture's folklore. As for Anghel, possibly if you get a good clever roll, or if Muninn tells you. Okay.
Okay. Should I roll a clever? I'll try, but I.
Yeah, it's either a clever roll or if Muninn tells you. With a 2, if a dragon is coming, it can only be for bad stuff, obviously. Whether, and it's a big variety of bad stuff. It can be kidnapping a bride. It can be just burning down things for the sake of it. It can be cursing someone. It's, so...
Okay.
I've given you a lot of answers. One of which is correct, but a lot of others are not.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Either way, it must be stopped in Mangyo's mind. Well,
but the dragon like comes a lot in the folktale, like. Or is it
erratically? In the folktale, Prince Charming visits a lot of lands and peoples that were affected by the dragon in the past tense. He only faces the dragon at the very end, though, like directly. I mean.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Can Muninn say what the dragon wants specifically. And I say that because above board.
It's your choice.
Yeah, I say that because above board I can't remember exactly. I mean, what the dragon wants. I know it's got to be.
To like clarify, and Acacius was fairly vague. The dragon is coming for you to curse you and turn you into good eye. But what Acacius said is that the dragon, even though he's a slave to destiny, he's also trying to circumvent it as much as he can. He can't do a lot. He cannot do a lot, but he will still try. And the way he will try it is by offering Muninn a deal. Basically, hey, do this for me, and I'm not gonna turn you into good eye.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But Acacius warned you that that whatever the dragon will demand of you, it'll be something bad and very difficult. The plus side is that you still have your autonomy versus the other free choices, but it's yeah.
I guess then Muninn would try and relay that as much as possible, or as coherently as possible. So Muninn would say, and do correct me if I'm losing it in translation, but Muninn would say like, so the dragon wants to circumvent fate, and he wants to use us to do it.
Us? All three of us?
How do you know? Anghel science.
Muninn would answer Anghel's question, and sorry if you heard that.
Is there a train?
There's a moped outside. So Muninn would answer Anghel's question and say, actually, I can't even remember. Sorry, that was so distracting. What was Anghel asking?
How do you know?
How do I know? Muninn would tap their temple and they would say like, oh, Acacius, as long as he's not sort of trying to as long as he's telling the truth, like, Acacius has told me.
Yes, Anghel. Honestly, you don't do that with sign language. Never mind.
Do what? Sorry.
I wanted him to kind of repeat like Acacius, but
like in a derogatory
way. Yeah, you just a sign, I guess.
Right.
Like for no reason.
I think Illona would deflate in like disappointment, for lack of a better term. Like, oh shit, not him again, kind of.
Yeah. Muninn would nod and sort of like almost sigh in agreement. That he's like, Muninn would be like, I know. But I have reason to believe that Acacius is telling the truth. He told me because he wants me to. Muninn would. How do I put it? Muninn wasn't going to say this originally, but then they would like realize, oh, I'm going to have to say it. They would say, Acacius told me because he wants me to. I believe he wants me to make a decision. Like, he wants me to decide my destiny, like before the dragon arrives.
What? How? I think Illona would ask.
I have 4 options. So I would, and Muninn is so begrudging in admitting this because, like, Muninn has done this to themselves. But Muninn would say, I have been chosen to become Good Eye's replacement. So if I decide to do that and follow through with that, then I would no longer be able to be Acacius's acolyte or servant. However, I could either choose to become Good Eye, repent to the church and not and circumvent that fate, which to me is not an option. Or I can let me double check. Or I could serve Acacius devoutly, I think is the word. Above board.
What are you going to do?
Above board, because I think this is a bit of a bigger decision. I don't think Illona should opine on this. I'd rather leave it to Ashen.
Okay.
So I think if asked, Illona would just say, I don't know, let me think, or it's a tough decision, let me think.
Yeah, okay. Muninn would admit as well there is a fourth option as well, but I don't think, well, I mean, none of them are easy decisions to make, but the dragon wants to use us to circumvent fate, Acacius, and to sort of do the dragon's will. Acacius admitted that is an option, and it's something that we can do. But there's no guarantee.
You can't do that.
Yeah, I was about to say Show&Tell. The Prince Charming in you loudly says no, but you can do what you will with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess says no, you can't do that. So what other choice are you going to make?
Muninn would scratch
I think becoming a monk is...
Yeah, no. If Anghel says that, Muninn would be like, no, like that's not an option.
Oh, fine. Then are you going to become Good Eye? He looks at him like, ugh.
I don't want that to be. I think Muninn would say, I would rather pluck my eyes out than become Good Eye.
Above board, then you'd still be Good Eye, just a shitty Good Eye.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just,
I have to agree.
I don't know. Muninn would admit defeatedly, like, I don't know what the answer is. I have no idea what I'm going to do.
By the way?
No, unless you want him to be.
I just wanted to exchange looks with him, but it's fine. It's not super important.
He sleeps. There's like a comparison in Romanian that doesn't work well in English, but basically he sleeps very soundly.
Okay, never mind that.
Okay.
Are you going to become? Just don't become a Acacius's.
His
whatever you called it.
His servant, or his acolyte. What? Why not?
Fine. I don't know.
No,
I don't like him.
Okay. Muninn was asking Anghel, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, Anghel was saying. But...
I don't like him. Muninn was struggling. They would admit it's not my first choice. But it's not my last either. So we don't have a lot of time to decide, but I need to make this decision before the dragon arrives. Because I believe once the dragon is here, then the decision will be made for me.
Mm. Well, Anghel doesn't have much more to say.
I think the Prince Charming in Anghel, obviously Anghel you can think and do whatever you want, but the Prince Charming impulse is, no, let the dragon come so that we can kill him.
Oh, sure. I don't know. Okay. Like, I don't know how much Anghel, I guess.
As in,
like,
regarding...
as far as Anghel's concerned, is like, I see the dragon, I kill the dragon.
Well, I meant to say, like, regarding Muninn's dilemma, from Prince Charming's perspective, and again, that's not Anghel's perspective, that's Prince Charming's perspective. Prince Charming's perspective would be, Muninn should make whatever choice draws the dragon in.
But the dragon is going to come regardless.
No, the dragon will not come if Muninn goes to the church or to Acacius.
Right.
Okay.
Which
then
would
I
mean
guess Anghel hears that kind of voice, but I don't know if he entirely. So like so the best choice, according to Prince Charming, is to become Good Eye.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Obeying the dragon is last choice possible. Last option.
That's obvious. Yeah, and the other choice is make the dragon not come.
Yeah. The only exception would be if Prince Charming believes that the dragon coming would result in like collateral civilian damage, in which case, okay, fine, I'll face the dragon later.
Why wouldn't he believe that?
Well, maybe you guys will be in the middle of the forest, so no people around there.
Okay.
Right.
Well, I don't know if Anghel is completely like, like as far as Anghel is concerned, is like I have to stick, like dragon is bad, I need to take him down, sort of thing. I guess it's influenced by Prince Charming too, but maybe not to the same degree. And as far as Muninn being Good Eye, he has reservations. So.
Muninn does too, if that makes you feel any better.
I'm sure it does.
I think Muninn would feel a little bit defeated, and they would say they would pick up whatever it is they have in terms of
possessions.
Yeah. They would probably sigh and say "Come on, I can't think on an empty stomach. Let's catch some breakfast or something."
Oh, I forgot. Can I get carefuls from the three of you to see if you notice something? It'll be a more difficult role. I'll roll on Illona's behalf.
Am I noticing with my eyes?
Yes, it will be with your eyes.
Okay, cool. Oh, I got a 4.
Illona,
I got a 4 too.
Illona does not. Muninn and Anghel, you see in the distance to the south, farther away than the fire last night, plumes of smoke rising. Presumably from a certain army you've unleashed plundering certain villages.
Oh,
right.
Muninn would feel a little bit dreadful and regretful, maybe. Especially because a lot of the reason why that army exists is probably because of Muninn. They would probably can Muninn speak to the Rimlen? I don't want to say the Rimlen lady, but the leader of the lady who. Sorry.
Aurelia.
Yeah.
I think you were taught. Yeah, you were. I think you were taught how to do that. Basically, you perform a sacrifice to Ingenui, who is the messenger god. And he, you know how Acacius likes wolves and hawks, and Nyalios likes prisoners. Ingenui likes honey, of which you have an abundance of.
Okay. Could I sacrifice a bit of honey to speak to the Rimlen lady?
Yes. So, as you proceed to do that, and you sacrifice the honey, and you feel the presence of Ingenui and the idea that the contact has been established, what do you say in sort of greeting?
Muninn would say, hail friend. Can you hear me?
Hail, she says. She does not add friend.
Yeah. Fair enough. Muninn would...
We have not reached a decision, if that's what you're asking.
That is what I was going to ask you. However, I feel may I stress your decision to be made soon. Muninn would... I don't want to say Muninn would turn the camera. and show the chaos, because obviously that's not how it works.
Would like mentally convey the like signs of, I imagine. Yeah, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. If that works, then great.
I think it would. I think it would.
Muninn would say the savages are ravaging the land, and I feel you and your people are the only solution to stop their savagery.
You tell me nothing of which I do not already know. I understand the urgency, believe me, I do, but I will not base my decisions on rash judgment, not anymore.
In which case, how will you decide whether or not you will do what is right to save the people of this land?
As I mentioned, based on information, and well, for once, for the first time since, well, not first time, but like for one of the first times, I guess would be the more accurate way of saying it. Sorry this is me, the DM, like stumbling over my words, not Aurelia. For one of the first times since we awakened, Cassius has been willing enough to share information, and even through an old friend.
Okay.
Muninn would ask, who is this old friend that you speak of?
Nobody that you need to know of.
Muninn would ask, nobody, including any one of my friends, like meaning like, because you seem to trust them a lot more than you trust me.
I am not referring to the two children, no.
In which case, time. I mean, in which case, I can't stress enough that time is of the essence. Like, when will we hear from you again?
When I have made my decision, and not sooner.
Is there anything that we can do to sway your decision?
Is there?
Well, this Muninn would probably.
She would add. I would sort of intercede. I would remind you that, though we are armed, we are still strangers in a strange land. Even a force our size, which, and I will emphasize, we are not particularly numerous, but even if you consider us to be so, can be defeated by a small force who knows the lay of the land better.
In which case, Cassius knows the land, for he has been around while you slept, like while you and your people slept. Could you not?
He does, of course, but I am not so eager to solely rely upon him.
Could Muninn roll a careful as to why that could be? I feel like above board I know the answer.
But it's You can also, you can give me a careful, and there might be snippets in the book that you read that mention it.
Okay. I think I know the answer anyway, because I think we've touched on it before.
5. You remember, I guess, also snippets from the book that's mention Aurelia Juliana as a chosen of Cassius, but also someone who killed Cassius's oracle. You don't quite know why. You also remember certain passages of. Actually, you also saw Aurelia Juliana among the chosen of another deity, Nyctelios.
In which case?
In the book.
Yeah. In which case, I do vaguely remember. Because again, I think we touched on it last time.
I guess another thing that I can tell you with that roll, she made absolutely no effort to stop you when you guys took the orb from the underground thing, even though it's obviously a very, very powerful item.
Yeah. So she clearly doesn't have a lot of not respect, but like concern for it. I don't know. So,
attachment.
Yeah, attachment. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think concern would be the right word. She definitely has concern. It's but she doesn't have loyalty, attachment. I guess.
Yeah.
Not to Akessis, at least.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. In that case, I think Muninn would think for a moment, and they would say, "Well, you know how to speak to us when you make your decision."
Yes.
I assume. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, we will. My friends and I will be waiting for your response eagerly.
If you also find any potentially useful information, I would welcome news of it, of course.
Of course. Yeah, Muninn would just say, of course.
Is that all?
I will say this. My friends and I would be more willing to share this information if you were to be a little bit more persuaded above board to help us with what we have talked about.
And I would be more likely to be persuaded if you provide me with information.
Okay. In that case, Muninn would nod and not hang up the phone, but you know what I mean? They like sever the connection.
Sure. The connection is severed. From, I guess, Anghel and Illona's perspective, Muninn seemed to be kind of spacing out, looking up at the sky.
Mm-hmm.
Which you can definitely interpret as them being lost in their own thoughts given the situation.
Yeah. Muninn would sigh and say like, "Oh, well, that didn't help." Muninn would say, "Well, that was a waste of time." Muninn would point to the chaos going on, like to Anghel and Illona and everything. Muninn would point to the chaos and say, "The people of Rimlen, or the ancient Rimlens, still aren't convinced that they should help us with that."
You talked to them? I think Illona would ask.
I did. That's not Muninn stuttering, but Muninn would say, "I did. I spoke to them, like telepathically, or
we know.
Sorry.
I think we know, right?
Right. In that case, Muninn would just say, "Yeah, I spoke to them."
Okay.
Or I convened with them, or something.
Yeah. By the way, does Prince Charming have any, I don't know, like opinion about what's going on right now? Because I know that before he was like regarding the war, the army, the soldiers.
I mean, if the Prince Charming's opinion is if they're terrorizing innocent people, they must be stopped.
Yeah.
But he doesn't necessarily.
He didn't know because they were slaves, blah blah blah. Right.
Yeah, it was a complicated situation because Prince Charming sympathizes with the downtrodden, but he also follows the law. Right. But now, if they are terrorizing innocent people, they are no longer downtrodden; they're downtrodden.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Anghel is thinking about maybe trying to. Oh, I don't know. They're headed to St. Paris?
They I don't think they specified a heading rather other than the world will burn, but you see
Right.
the like smoke coming from further south of where you are, where
Oh,
like even south, more south than the place where you guys were at. So like on the map that's south to this one.
oh, so it's not. Damn it. I was thinking like maybe to try to
That
help
doesn't mean,
people.
that does not mean that they couldn't head to St. Paris later. There's lots of roads to
Yay.
St. Paris.
All roads lead to. Okay.
Yeah, kinda.
Okay. It's not that I want them to come to St. Paris. I was just thinking that if they were in the same way, we could maybe try to help people.
Right.
But
Yeah.
anyway, Anghel is feeling really bad about all this. I guess to sum it up.
Yeah.
Well, I think Illona would say, shall we get going and meet up with Ophelia?
Muninn would nod. And then they would like rummage through their belongings to see if they can like get anything to eat.
Yeah,
bread or something.
Yeah, food supplies, yeah. I think we established.
Okay, cool.
Um,
Muninn would tuck into that in that case.
I was thinking that this little segue might be a good opportunity to end today's session to also allow Ashen greater input.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds good, yeah.
Okay. Thoughts on today's episode?
Hell yeah. It was cool.
Yeah.
Sorry, Show&Tell, was I interrupting?
Not really. I was just gonna say that the dreams were really cool.
Yeah, they were cool.
Glad to hear that.
They were really cool. It was cool to hear from. Well, it was cool to hear like as far as Muninn's dream and everything. Cool
Yeah.
to hear. It was cool to hear from Cassius again, or
And
rather,
all those options that we didn't really. I mean, like Anghel didn't get any options from anyone, but I guess he's on bad terms with his assigned god. So.
It's cool to see it laid out. It's gonna be difficult to see what decisions we make, or rather Muninn makes and everything. I was genuinely racking my head around which one would be best out of the four options.
No.
I was also really trying to figure out like, there's got to be a fifth option surely, but hopefully IRL next week I would have thought of something.
Above board, I personally have not thought of a fifth option, but that does not mean that you cannot think of one. And of course, I'm perfectly eager to hear any potential plans that you and or Muninn might come up with.
Hell yeah.
If you do become, Muninn becomes good, I will be interesting. An interesting dynamic.
It will be.
It will be, especially because, like, both of you will feel this weird instinctive affinity towards each other. Like, Anghel to trust Muninn and Muninn to obey Anghel.
I mean, if he obeys him, then no problem.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
But obviously, just this, like, instinct does not mean that you have to follow through with it.
Mm-hmm.
No, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be I don't know. It's gonna be like we keep saying. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens because I don't see Muninn bowing to anyone, if you know what I mean. But obviously, if it's fate's hand that is like causing it, then that's gonna be harsh.
But Muninn can totally resist, though. If it's like, maybe we'll even make them like act out, maybe, because they don't like.
You can
or
go.
something.
You can of course go against fate, but obviously there will be negative consequences for it because fate collects its due. But there's also of course the option of taking the dragon's deal, which does mean you will circumvent fate. It will require you to do something very bad to like appease the dragon, but it will also mean that you maintain your freedom.
If that happens, though, the dragon will never be defeated.
Until Muninn dies, then he has to choose a new good eye.
Huh.
Okay.
So that it puts us in a fix, though. That would be interesting. Like,
So-
Muninn can actually do that in terms of the narrative.
What do you mean?
Like, in terms of... Because if they do that, then we would just... Well, I guess we will just defeat the dragon.
Yeah, above board, yeah, Muninn, of course, can take the dragon's deal and circumvent being good eye, so no good eye will be chosen until Muninn dies and a new one is selected by the fates, which will mean that, yeah, I'll probably have like a bunch of things of, oh, you see this like random village just got burned down by the dragon or whatever, and oh, there's no way to stop it, sorry.
Oh, that would suck. Okay. Interesting, though.
That would suck. That would suck, but funny enough,
would suck, but it would be cool if he chose.
Right. It's not something that I don't think Muninn would, because there's such a. I mean, the whole gang are like. What's the word?
Yeah, honestly, from Muninn's point of view, I guess either doing that or becoming, I guess, an oracle for, I don't know, because they just read about the oracle and how terrible it is. So
right,
I know about
exactly.
I will mention, because obviously Muninn had some skepticism about the monk choice. Obviously understandable from the point of view of a life of servitude to and worship, but monks are not like forbidden from studying. Quite the contrary, they are heavily encouraged to learn, to read, and to preach. So if Muninn decides to go the monk route, especially since like the nearest monks don't have their own monastery anymore, Muninn would probably be an itinerant monk, aka like a monk whose job is to wander around and preach.
Okay, interesting.
So if Muninn were to choose that, I would not confine Muninn to, okay, you're going to follow these people and do these things. You will have to follow some certain orders, but there's more freedom than perhaps you imagine.
Okay.
Still not an ideal choice, but just trying to like contextualize it a bit.
Yeah. No, yeah.
It's
emphasis
cool.
on
These are the choices.
Emphasis on
that are like choices.
Yeah. Yeah, emphasis on the ideal, I imagine. It's going to be tough to decide, I think. And siding with the dragon, I think, I don't know if I've already said it or if I was going to say it or what. Siding with the dragon it's funny because it's the bad option, but it's probably not the one that Muninn wouldn't immediately dismiss. So, we best hope that we can find another option.
It sounds like a legitimate option.
Yeah.
It is.
So we better.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say we better find one that's better, or like more morally acceptable.
Or we just roll with it.
Well, we'll see.
I will say the task that the dragon will give you will certainly be unpleasant.
Okay. So that's not even like how do I put it?
But it is the like choice that like in the end will award you the most freedom.
Yeah.
And also a small reminder that whatever you choose, if you don't go the like church extreme or the oracle extreme, Cassius did say, "Hey, I'll teach you the like fundamentals of magic."
Did you say because I have in my notes, if I go to the church, that's no magic. Did you say if I
except the church's healing magic, but yeah.
Okay. But Cassius won't teach me magic if I become an oracle of his, you said, or
no, he still will, and
he would.
But the oracle's magic is different and arguably more potent than an ordinary Auspex.
Okay.
Not just arguably, it is more potent than an ordinary Auspex.
So
and you might not have a will. So.
Right. So in terms
I
of
don't know what you will do without magic.
what I will do with it, in terms of seeking magic or whatever, the strongest option would be to become an oracle, obviously.
At least in the short term.
Yeah. Okay. Again, it's just so much to think about. It's so much to think about.
It's cool though.
Yeah, which I love. Yeah.
And of course, if you can think of a fifth option, I am always open and like all ears.
I'll have to think about it. I imagine if there is a fifth option, it's not going to be an easy one to A, think about, and B, to like pull off, so to say. Like, I imagine there's probably some kind of like, oh, I'll use my lying stunt like in this very specific way to do this very specific thing, you know?
Never say never.
Maybe
Never
you
say
can
never.
lie to the dragon. I don't know.
Yeah. I could do.
I don't know what that accomplishes, but the light stunt is a cool, thing that you can probably use.
It could be, but then again, it's like I'd have to use it in such a specific way that I'd have to plan. But then again, that's the whole fun of it, isn't it? I have to like really think about it. So yeah, I'm excited for next week, basically.
Also, I have not.
Yeah.
I have not forgotten the compel. Like I have it written down. Don't you worry.
Oh yes, yeah. Awesome.
I want Illona's Illona's, but I mean Ashen's live reaction when you like do say something extremely stupid to Ophelia.
Yeah.
We haven't had a chance to talk with her yet, so it makes sense. Like we haven't.
Yeah, it makes sense that it hasn't
action.
happened yet.
And also, funnily enough, not Ashen, but Illona is the only one who didn't receive the little cinematic vision.
Right.
Right. Wait, so what did Illona dream about?
No, like you guys. Well, you guys
The
received the
cinematic with the prince.
Right. Oh no, obviously, yeah. No, obviously, no. I misinterpret what you said, obviously, but no, yeah, she's not. So she's probably it's going to be a big surprise to her as much as it would be to Ophelia.
To Illona, but like I imagine the first Illona's reaction, not necessarily Ashen's. Illona's reaction would be, "Wait, beat up? What the hell are you talking about?" And then when she would notice Ophelia's reaction, she would be, "Wait, how would you know that? What's going on?"
Right.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe.
Who knows?
Saying stuff.
Other things that happened in this episode.
Cool seeing Willa. Willa.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool seeing Willa again.
Yeah, it was cool. Even though I didn't get to play her too much, but yeah, I'm just glad that the there was this twist in the dream. So cool. I got one up on Muninn when he thought he had the upper hand.
Yeah,
it's a twist that you guys won for yourself, so to say. Because Erisina is normally a god that does not get involved in that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well done,
At
gamers.
least, it's some relief or I don't know, comfort for Anghel at least.
Yeah.
Understandable. And I do find it, not to like pat myself on the back, but I do find it funny that unlike other visions that Muninn has shown you where he like had this sort of like twisting the knife in the wound as like an ending, this time he just like hung up because he was like flustered.
Yeah, I mean, that, if anything, that was even more rewarding, to see that he's actually affected by it.
Yeah. Don't underestimate him still, but yeah.
No, not at all. But but there will be some I don't know, some resistance, I guess.
That's a good way of putting it. And I would say she's not here, but good job, Ashen, on playing Mia, and also good job, Dely, on playing Zeki.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Good job, Ashen, as well.
Yeah.
Anything else that happened? Oh, I guess I'm slightly surprised that Anghel stayed quiet about his exploits with the ogre.
He's not Prince Charming yet. Exactly. He's not prideful. I think he kind of likes the idea that
That's a good point.
Nobody knows.
Yeah, he had that win for himself kind of thing.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Anything else that happened in this session? Trying to think.
Oh, there was the effect that Anghel had on Illona, but then he didn't seem to have it.
Because I forgot about it above board. To remind myself, I'll make a note on screen so that we are all aware that Anghel is a reassuring presence. Thank you for reminding me.
Okay.
Yes.
I was wondering if you forgot or if it was just like too many things were happening. We were just not.
There's a lot of things to keep track of. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I totally get it.
Yeah, definitely. That was cool though. That was very Prince Charming. It'd be cool to see that. Like, it'd be cool if that was like, I don't know, like a boost or something, or like a stat boost or something.
Yeah, there's another effect that I did not mention because it hasn't been applied yet. But because you've reached this like minimal like +3 point, Show&Tell Anghel from now will have like a slight, like a +1 bonus when trying to convince or interact with good or innocent people, but also a -1 when dealing with evil or selfish people.
Oh, in an aspect?
Basically, like you're trying to convince them or something, or interacting with them. Not necessarily when it comes to fighting them or whatever, just like talking and like trying to convince them of your viewpoint and stuff like that.
Oh, it doesn't matter which aspect. Like if I use it for convincing, basically.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Basically, yeah.
I get it. Okay.
So you are seen slightly better by good or innocent people, and slightly worse by evil or very selfish people.
That's like I guess it's good when you're trying to protect someone, but if you're trying to, well, I guess Anghel wasn't very sneaky or whatever anyway. So he leave that to the others, I guess.
And I guess, Dely, we can like recontextualize the conversation you guys just had. For whatever reason, anytime Anghel spoke, you felt slightly more comforted, but you still face such a big peril that maybe it was not enough to calm you down, I guess.
Oh,
yeah, it's a big decision, yeah. So I can see that being a little bit less. What's the word?
Effective.
Effective, yeah. Yeah, no, effective, yeah.
I am looking forward to, if it ever happens, if Show&Tell, if Anghel ever goes like really deep into being Prince Charming, or the opposite, really deep into not being Prince Charming, like in the negatives, because there's some interesting stuff there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I kind of not loving the idea of him becoming more Prince Charming in terms of like also becoming kind of prideful, but maybe I just need to accept that and just need to kind of put that into his character more and more, kind of. Oh boy.
But I think also you can guess that if you were to go into the negatives, you wouldn't have this stuff like, oh, a reassuring presence. Instead, you'd have something like, you disturb people around you. Or like for whatever reason, people feel scared around you. And also like...
that could work. I could see that happening for sure.
If you go into the negatives. But as I mentioned, you got the one effect that doesn't actually change your appearance, just your like aura. There are effects that change your appearance, and also effects that change your. And there are effects that change your appearance on the negative side as well.
And the if I turn negative, okay.
Yeah.
I do wonder about that. It will be cool. I did not promise I'll do this, but if I change like the token with anything major, I don't know, that shows up on the face, I guess.
Yeah. We'll see. It's your choice, of course.
We'll see what we're talking about when the changes start occurring, I guess.
Yeah.
Indeed. Trying to think if there's anything else we ought to talk about. I don't think so. I think we talked about what happened, unless there's anything you guys would like to add.
I don't think so.
Yeah, not from looking at my notes.
Okay. Well then, dear viewers, as usual, thank you for watching and listening to us. Usual reminder to check out Ashen. She does great work, like the image that I showed you of her drawing of Cornell, and her other drawings that you can find on Instagram. And you can commission her, and I think, probably, and she does great work. Check her out. Next, the dice say that we should see what Dely is up to. Dely, could you please go ahead and talk about yourself and what you're doing?
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. I'm Dely, and I am a Goblin VTuber on Twitch.tv. I'm a indie variety VTuber. So I play absolutely anything. Recently, we've been playing. Well, when I find time to stream, we've been playing Elden Ring. And I'm a massive Dark Souls sort of From Software fan. So
I killed Dely twice.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
You play together?
No, Dely has commands in their chat that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, if you wanted to pop in, maybe get me to kill myself in Elden Ring, then feel free to come in and say hi. And in the magic link on screen, I also have a Discord and server, and a Twitter that I occasionally post to.
Awesome. Hope to see you stream some more, and yeah. Thank you very, very much, Dely. And next, of course, we would have Show&Tell. Could you please go ahead and talk about yourself and what you're doing?
Yes, so I'm Show&Tell, and I have a Patreon on which I react to anime mostly. I also have 2 YouTube channels you can check out. I hit 10 subscribers on them. It's so funny that it's taking so slow, but okay. Yeah. So if you like that kind of thing, you can check it out.
Do check it out. She does great work. Thank you very, very much, Show&Tell. And dear viewers, was your Dungeon Master, Game Master Teeironor. I do this series. It's a lot of fun. I also do another series with a different group of lovely people set in the Warcraft universe. It's been going on for longer. It's fun of a different sort, but still fun. I would also recommend it as well. Other than that, thank you once again, dear viewers, for watching and listening to us. Should be back next week unless something happens, in which case I'll let you all know on Twitter and Blue Sky, the places, and yeah, we'll see you when we'll see you. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.